and welcome. My name is Jocelyn and today we are doing a palette bingo. It's been a hot minute since I've filmed a palette bingo, but I am very excited. I have been teasing this particular palette bingo for probably over a month, maybe a month and a half now, and we're finally doing it. If you are not familiar with what palette bingo is, it is a way to get creative with your eye makeup. How it works is you pick an eyeshadow palette and then you random number generate as many shades as you want to use from that palette to use to create an eye look. I have a few of these already on my channel. I will link them down below so you can check them out if you would like. Today we are doing kind of a unique palette. This was a palette that was gifted to me by my best friend Jessie for my birthday, and it is the StoryBook Cosmetics Charlie and the Chocolate Factory palette. It is really cute. I love the packaging on all of StoryBook Cosmetics palettes because they look like little books, and the inside is particularly interesting on this one because it's very light pastel kind of colors. So this is what the inside looks like. Obviously these are the colors that we will be using on my eyes. So we have some really fun colors. We have a really pretty blue, a purple, a few golds, some oranges in here, another purple, a pink, a handful of neutrals. So we'll see. Again, I'm random number generating, usually 4 to 5 shades to use to create an eye look. I know you can find these at Ulta or online. So if by the end of this tutorial you would like to purchase this palette for yourself, I will link it somehow down below. I have not used these on my eyes at all, so I have no idea how they perform. I also have the Wizardry and Witchcraft palette by StoryBook Cosmetics. It's okay. I don't love the formula of that one, and also the shades are a bit darker, and I'm kind of a bigger fan of lighter shades on my skin, my eyes in particular. So I was really excited that she got me this one because it's got much more lighter colors in it, but I haven't used these, so I'm really excited. I have swatched them a bit and they swatch pretty good, so I have faith that the eye look today will be successful. Without further ado, I have Google's random number generator pulled up. I have a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 12, so let's go ahead and get started. Generate. Shade number 2. Okay, so oh, all right, okay. So the way we're doing this is we're going across, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, like that. Okay, so 1, 2, we have the shade Snozberries, which is probably, aside from the bright teal color, the brightest color in this palette. It's a bright orange. All right, so there is Snozberries, our first color, the bright orange. I'm excited to use that. Let's generate our second shade. 9. Okay, all right, I feel like this is pretty cohesive so far. So 3, 6, 9, we have the pink shade. This is Everlasting Gobstoppers. So here we have our first 2 shades. Shade number 3. 6. Okay. Ay. All right, so 3, 6, so we have the orange, all of the warm tones. I swear to God, if we get one of the golds, I'm gonna lose my mind. So Oompa Loompa is the shade that we got for shade number 3. We now have a yellow, a pink, and an orange. Okay, we're definitely doing one more, so let's see what happens after our 4th shade. 5. All right, okay, all right. Well, I didn't get a gold, I got the purple shade. So this is the shade Willy Wonka. That's fun, I like that I got that. This feels like a satin. Oh, wow. That's a really pretty color. So this Willy Wonka shade is more of a satin. It's not a glitter shade, but it looks purple, but it has a pink flash to it. Oh, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it, but there is a pink flash in this color. I had an idea of what I was gonna do, and now I'm not totally sure. I kind of think I want to end it here. Let me actually see what one more would do. Let's find out what shade number 5 would be. Let's go ahead and just pick one more. Let's see what happens. 8. All right, so shade number 8, it's meant to be. I was only supposed to pick these ones because shade number 8 is Veruca Salt, so which is just like a white shade, a sort of white shade. That's what it is. So I mean, we can try and incorporate this somehow, maybe just to try and put down before one of these shades to amplify it a little bit. I mean, you can barely see it right there. So that's Veruca Salt. All right, so we have all of our shades. The first is Snozberries, and then Everlasting Gobstopper, Oompa Loompa, which actually looks a lot more yellow than it does in the pan. In the pan, it looks pretty orange. And then we have Willy Wonka and then sort of kind of Veruca salt. So I think Veruca salt we might just put on the lid to help amplify some of these shades. But I have an idea. I think I know what I want to do. I'm pretty excited. A little bit nervous because again, I've never played with these shades before, but we're gonna just see what happens. So I didn't mention earlier, but I do have my foundation, bronzer, blush, brows on, and I think that's it. Like I have a tiny bit of highlight on my nose and Cupid's bow, but I'm gonna wait to put highlighter on and lipstick and of course mascara. I don't know if I'll do eyeliner yet. We will see. Let me zoom you in and let's get started. I am gonna be starting with Everlasting Gobstopper, the pink shade, and I'm gonna start working that into my crease. I think all over the crease. We got some fallout, but these shades are pretty powdery, so I'm not really that surprised. Okay, those shades, well, that shade, I only used one shade. That shade blended pretty good. I am gonna take a blending brush though and just kind of go over that top edge just to give it that extra little bit of blend. And I am going to take a little bit more densely packed brush. This is just the Sigma Airbrush Blender F63 brush. And I'm gonna just pick some more of that Gobstopper up and just kind of pat it into the crease just to make sure that that color is pretty vibrant. Okay, we have our pink down. Next, I think I want to work from the outside in. So next we're going to take Willy Wonka, and I think I'm going to take this little Sigma Domed Utility E34 brush. This has become one of my absolute favorite Sigma brushes. It just brushes in general. It just works so well for so many different purposes. A lot of times I'll use it in the inner corner, but it's dense enough but soft enough. I don't know, it's just a really good brush. But I'm gonna use it to pick up that Willy Wonka shade and start working it into this outer corner. Again, Willy Wonka is the purpley shade right here, the purpley pink shade actually. I feel like wetting it might amplify it. Let's find out. We're gonna wet this little domed brush. Oh yeah, that is in fact what I was looking for. Okay, we're gonna work on that edge in a moment. Let's do the same thing on the other eye. And next we'll take this little fluffy blending brush and just kind of swirl it around that Willy Wonka shade. Ooh, it did pick up a fair amount of product. And I just want to buff that into that outer corner and those edges. Blend it up into that pink shade a little bit. I am gonna buff that pink shade a little bit more into the crease, probably the upper crease though, just to make sure that we don't lose that up here. Yeah, oh, there we go. It's a really nice pink. All right, and I am gonna take my finger and just kind of pat this a little bit more into that outer crease, at the outer corner area. Okay, now I'm going to take this brush, this flat brush right here. This is a Made You Look brush. Made You Look Lex is a YouTuber here. But I'm going to take this and then pick up the Veruca Salt shade. This one right here, just the basically white shade. And I'm going to pick that up and just kind of put it all over the rest of my lid just to provide a more white base to put those other two shades on top of. Okay, and then we are going to take the orange shade, the shade Snozberries, the first one that we chose, and I'm going to take, I think we're going to take this brush right here. I think we used it earlier, the F63 Sigma brush, And I'm gonna pick some of the Snozzberries shade up and just kind of start building it onto the eye. I'm gonna put it on most of the rest of my eye, but on the inner corner, we're gonna put the Oompa Loompa shade, so the yellow shade. But for now, let's start picking up that Snozzberries color. It's quite pigmented. I feel like I need a smaller brush for this. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I need a smaller brush for this. Let's go back into this domed utility brush. We'll get better control with this, okay. Let's pat some of that Willy Wonka shade back on there. I think I need some more pink down too. I'm gonna pick up Snozzberries with my finger too and just kind of... Let's go ahead and move on to Oompa Loompa, which is the yellow orange shade, and we're gonna put that in the inner corner, and I think like the actual inner corner, we'll see though. I might end up putting a highlighter on top of it. Let's go ahead and go back to our trusty domed utility brush, wipe it off. I might not put Willy Wonka on the lower lash line, but we are gonna start with Everlasting Gobstopper and work that into the outer part of the eye. And then we'll take Snozzberries, the orange shade, and work that into the center part of my lower lash line. And then we'll go back into Oompa Loompa just to kind of bring that yellow orange down a little bit more. Kind of just touch up some of these colors a little bit. I do think that I want to add some eyeliner, and we're going to go in with the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I do really want to pick up the, I think it's the Makeup Revolution eyeliner. I put a question out on Instagram maybe last week or the week before, asking people to send me their favorite eyeliners, and that was one of them. There was also the Marc Jacobs liner that I was super interested in, and the Nabla liner that I was really interested in. I think those were the three. So it was Nabla's, Marc Jacobs, and Makeup Revolutions. Oh, there was one other drugstore one that I was super interested in too, but I still have this one that I'm working through, so we're gonna put maybe a little eyeliner on. I don't know. Let's put it on, and then I'll show you what it looks like, what I came up with. All right, that took me longer than I'd like to admit, but I do like the way that the liner turned out. I thought it added just enough pizzazz to the look to make sense. All right, so let me add highlighter, mascara, and lipstick, and then come back to you with what the final look looks like. I'm back. Hello, with the final makeup look, and now that it has all come together, I am kind of in love with the way that this turned out. It really did turn out kind of exactly how I imagined it in my head, where the colors just kind of easily, seamlessly shifted in from one to the other. I did add a highlighter shade to my inner corner to kind of brighten it up a little bit, because the orange shade, the Oompa Loompa shade, no, the yellow one, yellowy orange shade, was a little bit darker than I like to have my inner corners. So I did originally only add the Super Glow highlighter by Natasha Denona. That is what I have on the rest of my face, but I wanted something a tiny bit brighter, so I kind of sort of a little bit cheated, and I added in this shade just in the inner corner to brighten it up a little bit. This is the shade Charlie Bucket. It's this really pretty shimmery icy white shade. Let me see if I can give you like just a swatch of it. I don't know how I don't know how well that worked, but it's a pretty shade, and it added just the right amount of brightness to my inner corners that I was looking for. That Natasha Denona shade didn't quite give me the brightness. I mean, you can see that it's pretty bright on my nose and my Cupid's bow, but when it was layered on top of the yellow shade, it kind of seamlessly melted into that yellow shade in a good way, but not a bright enough way for my pleasing. Also, in case you're curious, I do have the Colourpop Luxe lipstick in the shade Belle on my lips. This has become one of my favorite lipstick colors. It's not something that initially when I got it I thought I was going to fall in love with, but every single time I wear it I just love the way that they look, and I really enjoy it. So if you think you might too, then that's what I'm wearing. All right, so that is my palette bingo using the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory eyeshadows. I am extremely pleasantly surprised by how well these blended and how well these work. Let me zoom you out a bit. What am I doing? That's much better. Hello. So this palette, super impressed with the way that these blended. The pigmentation on all of these, I mean, you can see it for yourself. The pigmentation is there. I will for sure continue to reach for it. I'm excited to use the teal color in here, the shade Mike TV, because he was the TV kid. Huh, that makes sense. Let me swatch it for you. That's one swatch. It's pretty. Let's do another swatch. Yes, oh, that's so pretty. It's like a sky blue kind of color. So anyways, very impressed with this. I mean, the only thing I love and hate the packaging of these. I love it because I love books, and these look like books, and I think that they're super adorable, but also they're super bulky, so they're kind of hard to store because I don't really want to store it in my palette drawer because I kind of want to have it out. And what I actually want to do, this is completely a side note, I want to get a shelf in my beauty room to put my fun knick-knacky type of makeup items or nostalgic makeup items, that kind of stuff, which would include this palette right here and the Wizardry and Witchcraft palette. So anyways, that was my palette bingo for today. I hope that you enjoyed. Maybe it gave you some inspiration to incorporate into your next makeup look that you do. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked today's video, I hope that you give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe for more content from me, don't forget to do so before you go. All of those buttons are down below, and I think that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.